Okay guys, welcome to my weekly review. I'll be analyzing pairs I'll be looking out for to trade this week. So as you can see, I've analyzed all these pairs on the right hand side, all these pairs, and I only find opportunity in these 6 pairs here, these 6 pairs. So I'll just go through each and every one of them. So I'll show you what I'm looking out for. So the first one is Euro CHF. So Euro CHF, we are bearish on the weekly time frame, as you can see. So this is, and let me just say, an historical low. Price broke it, we test it on the weekly time frame, being bearish this zone and about to make the sell to create a new lower low, So if we move down to the daily time frame, you can see the daily time frame is also bearish. As you can see, this is the lower low. Let me remove this line. This is the lower low and this is the lower high. So what I'm waiting out for, I'm waiting for price to pull back to this zone, then I'll now sell down. So on the 4 hour, the 4 hour is also bearish. So the daily will have to pull back to this zone, to this my area of interest, to this resistance zone, then give me entry signal on the lower time frame, then I'll take this straight down. So this is one zone and this is another zone. So if it's this zone, I will not get my entry this week, or if it is here, I'll get my entry this week to sell down. So moving on to GBP NZD. NZD on the weekly time frame, we are also bearish. You can see we are also bearish. This is the lower low and this is the lower high. So this is a very strong support and resistance zone. So I was waiting to take this trade sell here, but price did not respect this zone. So and now price I cannot sell above this zone. I can only sell below it. So what did price do? Price came down, retest it, and give us that engulfing candle. Why I did not enter this trade is that this on the daily time frame was bullish. You see, the daily time frame was bullish. If I wanted to enter this trade, it I would have been taken out with some week before price have the move. So what did price do now? Price has given us a lower low and a lower high. So what I'm looking out for, I have 3 zones marked out. So it's either price still push to this zone, close inside. This week is not enough for me, so I need price to close inside here. You have the move, here, or price will come here to have the sell to the downside, or price. So that's what I'm waiting for any of this to happen. So for the 4-hour time frame, they also bearish, which is a good thing. And if price is pulling them back here, the EMA will come like this. So it will reject the EMA, added confluence. So right now, but for the 4-hour to pull back to the area of interest on the daily, the 4-hour have to turn bearish. 4-hour have to turn bearish. And before I take any trade, 2 time frame must be in sync. As you can see, the weekly is bearish, the daily is bearish. So what I'm looking out for is to pull back to this area of interest, strong area of interest, before I take the trade down. So GPP JPY on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. We are bullish on the weekly time frame. As you can see, last week created a hammer, a very long wick, rejecting this zone, and the daily is also bearish at a very strong support zone. Very strong support zone, 1 2 3 4. So we are rejecting this zone. So what I'm anticipating is for price to, as you can see, as you can see, we are bearish on the daily time frame. This is the lower low here, and this is the lower high. So if price should break above here, this our lower high, to make it bullish, to align with the weekly time frame. So I'll now wait for a pullback to this zone here before I take the trade up. So this is what I'm looking out for. So looking out for, and if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the 4-hour time frame is also bearish. And if when the daily break, the 4-hour break will first of all break before the daily will follow. So once the daily and 4-hour break, so the 3 time frame will now be in sync. 4-hour, daily and weekly will now be bullish. So I'll now wait for a retracement. And added advantage, once this price is retracing back, it will have to retest the EMA, then I'll take the trade up. So that is that on GPP JPY. So moving on to GPP AUD. So GPP AUD on the weekly time frame, GBP AUD on the weekly time frame, we are bearish on the weekly time frame. We are bearish on the weekly time frame. We are the lower low, and on the daily time frame, we are also bearish on the lower low. So now price can just reject and continue the sell. So we're looking out for this pair. You can see the 4-hour time frame is also bearish. So the 3 time frame are in sync. So I'll be very conservative here and observant to know what the price is doing before I risk any. So let me show that again. You see the weekly time frame. The weekly is bearish. Weekly is bearish. Rejecting this 188,000. And if we go down to the daily, you see that daily actually broke it, so it's coming back to retest it for a minor day trade downside. As you can see, whenever we are above, you're buying. Whenever above, you're buying. So whenever we're below, we're selling. So once you are below, I'm still looking for a little sell down to continue. So, and again, the cons in this trade is that the weekly is already at the lower low, where you can have the retracement back to retest the zone before you continue the sell. So I'll be very, very conservative when I'm entering the trade here. So the trade will actually show itself, so I will know what you want to do. So I know what I want to do before I sell. So that is that. And GPP AUD. So GPP JPY, moving on. GPP JPY is on the weekly time frame is bullish. So this is more like counter trend trade, and want to trade against the weekly time frame, because as you can see, the weekly is bullish. This is the higher high and this is the higher low. So going down to the daily time frame, no network. Going down to the daily time frame, you can see the daily time frame is bearish. Daily time frame is bearish with this strong support and resistance. So whenever we are under, we are selling. Whenever above, we are buying. Whenever above, we are buying. So I'm waiting for price to get to this place, to get here, close here before I take it. I'll take it down here. So and the forward time frame is also bearish. So we're probably waiting for shift of structure or something like that in the lower time frame to take the trade down. So once I take the trade down here, so once I take the trade down here, so now I have a shift of structure, then we continue the buy up. Continue the buy up. So that is that on this. So Euro card on the weekly time frame. Euro card on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. We are bullish on the weekly time frame. Price create a potential higher low to continue the push to the upside. But I couldn't take the trade. I couldn't take the trade when it was here. I couldn't take the trade when it was here. And the daily, because like I said earlier, I need 2 time frame to be in sync if I take any trade. As you can see, when the weekly was bullish here and it pulled back to this place, you can see the daily became bearish. You can see daily became bearish, so I need to wait for daily to turn bullish, because this was the lower high, former lower high, and and this was the lower low. So immediately it broke broke this place. So turn bullish here. So I'm waiting for a retest here. Continue the sell, continue the buy up. And you can see this zone is very strong, very respected zone on the weekly and daily. On the daily you have one here. Once you are under, you're selling. Once you are above, buying. Once you are above, you're buying. Once you are under, you're selling. And as you can see, you also, once price get to this place, you'll be testing the previous structure points, the EMA, and around psychological level to go up. So this is a juicy area to buy this trade. So that is that, and let me organize this each one counts first. So NDPPAUD is the first one, looking out for. NDPPNZD is the second one I'm looking out for. I think this is the last one. So DJ is the third one. So Euro card is the fourth one. DJ should be the last one, because DJ should be the last one. Okay, so that is that. So looking for rejection to sell, looking for this 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 to buy, waiting for this to buy. So that is that, and thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.